I don't really, I don't know why people would think that I'm lying, because for me to sit here and make up such a drastic story, oh, he raped me, like he molested me. Like it was to the point where it's like, even before he started it, he was trying to find a condom and couldn't find one, and he reached for a plastic bag. Um,
What?
I don't get how y'all can
What?
sit here and say shit like that. Like, first of all, my mom didn't know what was happening. My mom found out. First of all, my mom didn't even know I was gay. My mom didn't find out that I was gay until years after the
God
situation.
Almighty, man. God Almighty. The blood of Jesus is up against that man. May I tell you, hey, me say this is a spiritual warfare, and me I tell you, it's God about the devil, but the blood of Jesus is against that man. He held
And
you down and raped and raped you.
there's a few things that, so what made me kind of keep quiet about it, aside from my family or whatever the case is, it was like his way of trying to keep me quiet about the situation at the time. I think after the situation, he had sent my mother money to give to me. Um, like he just went on like it wasn't an issue. He was texting me, still trying to talk to me or whatever the case is. And it was just like, for me, I was just traumatized that it happened because, yeah, I'm gay, bisexual, like, but I didn't ask for this man to do what he did.
So he knew that you were gay or bisexual, and he took that to his advantage because you came from a Jamaican
Yeah.
household. So he know you wouldn't want to talk about it.
He knew I didn't want to talk about it because when we was in that Miami trip and he pointed it out, the whole conversation that was had in that gas station was the fact that I did not want my family to know about it.
So he
I didn't tell
took
my
that.
mother about it until a year and a half after I came out to my mother. I came out to my mother after COVID, the end of the 2020, 21. And then I didn't speak about that situation until after. And I just spoke about it because growing up, like it was stuff to where my mom went through something like that. So when I felt comfortable enough, it was like she was the only person I could talk to about it. And I wasn't talking to her about it to sit here and go through all of this. I was talking to her to get it off my chest. See, like everybody, like if people know that my grandmother, my family that I come from, it is strict. Like certain things they don't play with.
No, I'm
So it's
from
like,
Jamaica, so I understand. People who's not from Jamaica may not understand, but a Jamaica me come from. So I understand what you mean when you're saying you come from a strict family who would probably be against, who you are.
and,
So I understand and I get it. And
and I
that's
feel
why
like,
even me as a Jamaican woman who's always advocating and fighting for my fans who are gay, I'm happy you found comfort in me to want to talk to me about it.
and one of the reasons why I even choose to speak up about it now is because, like I said, I didn't want anyone to know. I wasn't ready to sit here and talk about this. When this came out, the person that called me was a family friend, and what she was speaking, it made it seem like she knew what happened. So I felt a little comfortable telling her, but I didn't know I was being recorded. I didn't know I was gonna wake up to my voice all over social media. I didn't sit here and ask for this.
You
I kept that shit to
didn't.
myself for years because I know how it is. Like people speak up, and the first thing is I'm looking in the comments. It's like, yeah, I'm gay, but that don't mean that's the right for me to be molested or
It's not.
raped by somebody. Like,
It, it's not. It didn't give him any right to rape you. And I'm so sorry you went through that as a child. I'm
and
so sorry.
my thing about it, while I'm speaking, even more while I'm speaking about it now, is because with that recording that's sent out against, because I did not sit there and know that she was recording me. So with that recording and everybody coming up with their own assumptions and dragging my sister and my mother in it, and it's just like, my mother really ain't know. The same people that he just paid to go see my grandmother didn't know until yesterday. I
Wow.
begged my mother not to say nothing because I didn't want to go through this. I'm a very quiet and reserved person, and this is a lot of attention for no reason. And not for no reason, but it's just like I refuse to sit there and have what was done to me, twist and turn and chopped and screwed when that wasn't how it is. He know exactly what he did. And it's like, if he's doing it to other people, why is it so hard to believe that this is something that he did? Like, at the time, he was using my mother for money, so he kept her close. So he was making sure he was in her ear.
I want you to say that, just that one line again. He was using your mother for what?
He was using my mother for money. When she stopped sending the money, he got irritated. And that's around the same time where he was sitting there blasting and
Because
going off like,
that's what he goes around and do to people. He did the
and
same thing to me. Use you
nobody
for
can't,
money, and when
anybody
you
that know
realize
me,
that he's a liar and he's a manipulator and he's trying to use you, then
any
he wants to tarnish you. When he can't have his way with you, he try to tear you down.
and anybody that know me, I didn't do this. I'm not doing this for no recognition or no money. If that's the case, I would have did this when it happened. Everybody that know the family that I come from, my mother got money. My mother loaded. Same reason why he wanted to be around her. The same reason why he wanted to sit there and be close. I just don't like how it was approached because I feel like if that same person that recorded me would have just pulled me aside and called me and be like, yo, so he did this to a few other people. Like, you feel like you're ready to speak about it? Let me decide what I want to talk about. It's my pain. It's my trauma.
So you kept that pain and you didn't talk about it. It was
No.
until that the recording that
The
I
rec-
played with the person
Yep.
that
It's
that you didn't know.
I woke up and I see the recording all over and people DMing me and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, where this coming from? And this is exactly why most people don't get up and talk about certain stuff that they go through, because it's always like, you can't put a time when somebody's going to speak up on their trauma and when they was hurt, when they was put in a position where they, bro, like, and then knowing that you gay on top of it, ain't nobody gonna believe you. Ain't nobody gonna sit there. Like, it took me a time to tell my mother, and it was a process because first I had to come out and tell her that I was gay. And I
What
did
does
that
your
because I couldn't live with knowing that certain, I don't like when things are used or held above me. Like, I understand what everybody was trying to do with the recordings and stuff like that. I just felt like I should have had the space to properly be able to do this and explain what it was because I wasn't ready. This recording surfaced months ago. I've been blocking and removing people from my page because my peace is getting disrupted. I had to move. I moved from New York to Florida. When this recording came out, it was in Florida, and when I figured out, somebody mentioned that he lives in Florida. Where you think I'm at now? I moved. The whole point is to stay away from this man, to stay off his radar. I have him blocked on everything for a reason.
what
So it's
has
like,
your life been like after he did that to you? Why do you keep moving? Are you still afraid of him?
I mean,
Because
when I
I'm
found
here to
out
tell
he
you.
was,
Let me tell you something. I'm here to tell you there's nothing to be afraid of. He's a liar. He's a scammer. He ain't no fucking Obia man. Him can't do
and
nothing. He's not talking to no spirit. There's
now,
one God. Do
now
not
that
let him
I'm,
put no fear into you.
now that I'm
Don't let
older,
him put no fear into you.
now that I'm older, I realize what you're saying. But when I was younger, and him prophesizing certain things and predicting certain things or being right with certain things,
He didn't
it
predict
made
anything.
me, it
Did
made
he
me
predict
feel
that
as
you are
though
going to get the strength one day to come out and talk
I
your truth? Did he
don't
predict this?
think I don't think he ever thought that I would have came out and said
Okay.
something.
Don't let him tell you him can predict nothing because him couldn't predict him own future. Him never predicts when him come out on social media and try to go up against me that all of this would have come back round at his footstep. Him never predict this. He used Because let me tell you something. I met that man as a pastor. I tell people this already, and I don't know if them believe me. Meet him as a Pastor Smith, and he came around me and him try to manipulate people's mind. All of the people that is picking up for him is because the same thing he did to you, he's doing to them, which is telling them things and they believe it. Say, oh, him a prophet, him can see things I seen in the future. I'm a spirit. Him a over man, and I want him over me, so them a pick up for him. He uses that as his power. Don't make him make you feel like say, if him did a pray to some spirit, what make the spirit can't do nothing for him. Don't make him put no fear in a yeah, move up and down and afraid and him can't do nothing to you. God is above mankind. You hear me?
Yeah.
I've
This is
never been, yo, I'm telling you, say,
this people just gotta understand sometimes when it comes to certain things like this, it's a lot more that comes to it than just speaking out. It's the embarrassment that comes with it. It's the shame. It's the
I
hate
know.
comments. It's people sitting there telling that you lying. Like,
Let
I
me tell
don't.
you something. I don't know you. I can see the hurt in your eyes. I can see the embarrassment, but there's nothing to be ashamed of because you were great molested as a child. It was something that was taken from you. You didn't have control of it. It was nothing that you did to yourself. But now that you're older and now that you're wiser, now that you're a man, you know what I'm saying? Now you're speaking your truth and you're living in your truth. Don't stay home and make nobody make you sad and depressed. This is your truth. This is your story. So I'm happy that you were willing to tell your story for yourself. The only thing I'm sorry that you didn't report it because people like that deserve to be off the streets.
If I would have sat there and reported it, my whole family would have found out. It would have been based. Sad to say, and it's not a bash against my family, but they really do look at how they're viewed. So not only would it put me on the spotlight, but it would have put a spotlight on my family too.
Wow.
Literally, my
It's
grandmother
not,
didn't find out this until yesterday. The only person I knew was my mom, and the same person that recorded it, me and my mom, was my mom's friend, and I really thought we were. For me to sit there and open up to her about that, I thought we was on a different level. You know, I didn't expect for this to happen. I wasn't. This was not
I'm proud.
the end
I'm
goal for
proud
me.
of your big up to your mom because I'm proud of your mom for supporting you. Like for you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. From I told her, she's made it easier living with that because it's easier to relate.
I feel like you still should report it. I feel like if you put it into the law's hand, they will be able to pull the footage from that hotel. I feel
And
like you
that's the
should still be
thing.
able
That's
to
the thing.
report
Like
it.
these simple things like that, footage, camera, all of that can be pulled up. And
Yes.
it's shame that I don't have my other the phone that I had back then. I don't have it no more. So even the messages between us and stuff like that,
The phone company can
it's
get back the
everything.
message. That
It's
the phone
there.
com-
This is
all
not
of what
something
you're
that's
saying,
just.
all of what you're saying, you may not be able to get it back, but once you start that case, everything will come full circle. The police have a way of finding everything. That's not even your worry. Your worry is to make that first move of reporting it.
I just feel like it has to stop because
It has to stop and it shouldn't have started.
multiple people are speaking about the same thing with this dude,
And people
and
still
these are
supporting him.
all the people that he's been around. You can't all be sitting here saying the same thing about the one person.
And there's so many other people who's afraid to come forward and speak.
I was scared too. I got forced to come out and speak. I wasn't ready to speak what happened. And I know that I guess I probably made me look bad, but it's what I went through. So it's like I won't, and I'm not gonna sit there and let everybody lie on or try to twist and turn what I've been through. Like I, I have no reason to be sitting here and lying, and these stories that everybody coming up with is real far fetched. Because even as far as my mother in Jamaica, like when me and my mother went to Jamaica, we wasn't dealing with this man. We stayed on a villa the whole time. It was me, my cousin, my sister, and my aunt that live in Jamaica. The second time when my mother went to Jamaica and she happened to glimpse him in Jamaica, I was living in Miami. She was there with my best friend. I wasn't even around her at the time.
What has your life been like after he molested you?
I
Do you
mean,
live in fear? Like, do you feel like
I feel like
what? How are you
fear,
mentally? How
the
are you?
fear, the fear part of it only comes when I find out that he's even, like, if I find out that we in the same state, it bothers me. If I find out that he has access to see my day to day, it bothers me. At the time, I couldn't really do nothing but push through. Like at the end of the day, people that know me that regardless of what I go through, I'm gonna still get up and still prosper and still push and do what I have to do. So
RT
yeah,
molested
it's
you,
been
so
there.
I'm just saying. I hope people who know you, and when they see you, they refer to you as a hero because that's who you are. This what you're doing is brave. Ain't nobody gonna come out and put them face on social media and talk, say, oh, a man molested them. So RT molested you, I him fear live in a shame. You know fear hold on your head and I live in a shame. He molested you. RT is the one that should be behind bars. Fear rape you at your age. He's a pedophile. We tell people that and them talk about, oh, whatever, but you're living in your truth now. Now you're a hero for all the other people that did, and I hope the other people that he did it to is willing to come out behind you and speak them truth because I'm more than one person do it too. So don't make no man make you walk and live in a shame. And him should have live in a shame.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
Uh, and that's
I feel
true.
like
That's true.
people don't understand when stuff like that happen, it plays with a part of you because as a man, like I'm supposed to stop things like that from happening. I'm supposed to be the person that's not the other way around.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for making it this far with that happening to you. And I don't feel like you should live in any shame for your truth. This is your story. I don't want to keep you. I know today's Sunday. Do you want to say anything else before we go? Or
Um, I just I like my peace. I don't like to be bothered, and I feel like having to talk about this repeatedly, having to go through this over and over again, it puts me back in that headspace. Like at this point, I know what I need to do in order to deal with it. I just don't need nobody pushing or forcing me. Like I want to move on my own speed because it's like nobody's not gonna understand how I feel when I get up and I go to sleep.
yeah.